surprised by the trade request, and did you consider doing it?
Yeah, I was real surprised. I think John spoke a lot on that last week, I think, and I feel pretty much the same. We were surprised, but also once it does happen, you know this business, so it can't surprise you too much. But yeah, we were disappointed a little bit, but it's part of this business, and you'll consider anything. You have a responsibility to help your organization the most you can. But losing a player like Deebo, it's hard to see how that helps your organization. So you try to look into all the aspects of it and what people are willing to do, and nothing was even remotely close that we thought would be fair for us or fair for the Niners.
You had a conversation with Deebo yesterday in which you said that it doesn't look like we're not going to trade you. Not entertaining the offers.
No, yeah, I haven't talked Deebo for a couple weeks.
By not trading him yesterday and today, it seems to indicate that you're confident you can work things out with him. Why are you confident you can work things out with Deebo?
Just because I think we can.
Kind of hard to work things out if he won't pick up the phone. I have a feeling that the fact that Kyle Shanahan hasn't spoken with Deebo Samuel in a couple of weeks isn't for lack of trying to call him.
Yeah, I doubt
Later
that
in that
either.
same press conference, Kyle Shanahan talked about how he prefers in-season because the guys are there.
Right.
They can't avoid you.
Right.
They're there. You want to go talk to him, you walk up to him. Off-season, you call them, they hit the FU button.
Yeah, and, especially when there's a contract.
They haven't been. Yeah. And you know what? Even though we're still caught up in this stupid-ass mystery of why Deebo wants out, and no one from the 49ers will talk about it, at one point on Friday or Saturday when Kyle Shanahan was discussing it, he kind of blurted out, he was answering a different question, he blurted out contract situation.
Yeah.
So contract's at least part of this,
of course,
if not all
right,
of it. It's
right,
contract.
Right.
And you know what? It may be, because A.J. Brown, the now Eagles receiver who was traded by the Titans, obviously, on Thursday night, he said that the Titans offered him $16 million per year at one point, which is an insult.
It is an insult.
Maybe the 49ers tried some game like that. Maybe whatever the 49ers put on the table to get things started was so low that Deebo Samuel said, "Are you effing kidding me?" And that was it. I'm done. We're not starting here. And that's the danger in any negotiation. We all want to avoid our bottom line right out of the gates. But if you start so low right out of the gates that the person looks at it and says, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, right.
That's your opener.
Right.
I'm out. See ya. But we're wasting our time. We're just wasting our time.
Yeah.
That may be what happened.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't. I mean, again, it's hard to figure out exactly what it is. I think I said a little last week. I've gotten the sense that it's, a bunch of things, but I've also gotten a sense that the 49ers don't know exactly what it is, or what exactly set it off to the fact that we don't talk to them. But yeah, you've heard my little inklings, the California stuff. There has been the rumor that they got a little farther down the road, maybe with Bosa and conversation there about the contract. Did Deebo get wind of that? Did Deebo get wind of the money they were going to offer him and then maybe got, so I don't know yet. I don't know. Either way, it's not good right now. But we just said it before. Shanahan, why he's not going to give up on this is for all the reasons we've stated. Deebo's awesome. Arguably the best weapon in football right now. Best receiver in football. He'd be my top guy. And then we talked about the Trey Lance aspect. And then unlike those other guys, for the most part of Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill, they haven't been able to benefit totally from this guy and what he brings to the table yet. It's only been, 3-year career. This was by far his best year. So he's about to hit the prime. So they're not going to give this up. And Shanahan, he's got too much, I know this, confidence in his ability to talk and to relate to players that I think he's going to exhaust every last moment and option to see if he can't work some of his magic to get back into the ear of Deebo Samuel, and start, working on him to be a 49er once again.
And they're hoping that the passage of time will help.
Right.
At one point, Shanahan said, we're hopeful that once we're through this draft, things will settle down. Because, look, the draft becomes an obvious opportunity for someone to make the 49ers an offer they won't refuse. And the best offer they got, at least the best offer of which we know the details, came from the Jets. 10th overall pick. All right, great start. 5th-round pick, okay.
Yeah.
But they also wanted a 2nd-round pick back from the 49ers.
Right.
I mean, I've said this before. If I'm Robert Saleh, who is a head coach in large part because of my relationship with Kyle Shanahan, I may say to Joe Douglas, are we really making that offer?
Yeah.
Can you make sure that you tell Kyle that I was not on
that was
board
not
with
part of
making
me.
this offer?
It was not an insult.
Yeah,
right.
Unless it was some sort of, as we've said, I think last week, some sort of a next-level effort to convince Deebo that there's no real market for him and they were doing the 49ers a favor. And I think at some level it does help the 49ers that they're able to say to Deebo, if you think you're worth X, then that means we can't give you away. We can't just hand you to some other team. If you're one of the top receivers in the NFL, and you are, we can't give you up for the 10th overall pick, a 5th rounder, and we have to give them a 2nd rounder. That's an insult to us, and it's an insult to you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Exactly right. I'll sit here again and state that he deserves more than what Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill got in their trade as far as the assets, in my opinion. A guy that's just about to hit the prime of his career compared to guys that, got some tread off the tires already. Absolutely. But I think it goes back to a little thing. First off, the Jets are going, well, maybe they're desperate. Who knows? Maybe they got some news this weekend how pissed off Deebo Samuel really is. Maybe they know something about Deebo Samuel and how he might not want to go there. I mean, Salah, maybe he has a relationship with Deebo Samuel to a degree. Or Michael LaFleur, who was in San Francisco before that, the offensive coordinator. So maybe they knew something to go, this ain't going to get mended anytime soon. Let's just take a low bar shot and see if it happens. And I think that's probably what they did. But 49ers, Lynch, Shanahan, they're not giving up on this. This is Shanahan's baby. This is his baby. And I mean that in a way of just his football. But, I would bet if you had to rank, importance of people in their organization to Shanahan, Trey Lance is one because they went all in and Shanahan pushed all the chips in there. But after that, Deebo's his 2nd round find. Shanahan's an ex-receiver. He sees the game through the receiver's lens. He's all about this. So this hurts him, I bet, to his core. And that's why I think he's really going to go down swinging trying to salvage the situation.
The other perspective on the idea that maybe the Jets know what's really going on.
Yeah.
I've heard the argument that for the Jets to make that offer, they recognize that there are limits to Deebo and that, and I don't buy that.
Sure.
I don't buy that. They wouldn't be thinking about giving up the 10th overall pick as part of any package if they didn't believe in the player. But it's just odd that that's the best offer the 49ers attracted for a guy who can come in and play at a high level when you consider that same weekend A.J. Brown got moved from Tennessee to Philly and Hollywood Brown went from Baltimore to Arizona. The two guys that we didn't know were so close to being traded, and we were led to believe they weren't going to be traded and didn't want to be traded, they get traded. Now, Brown wanted to, we just didn't know it. The guy we know wants out can't get out. It's just weird. We've got four receivers now that we didn't know how badly they want out of the places they were in, and they all got out. And the one guy we know wants out can't get out. Maybe the message going forward is don't make it publicly known, because I think once it's publicly known, that makes it harder for your team to get the best possible package.
I think so, and especially this late in the game, too. We've said that. Again, there's teams that are a little cash-strapped. They've already gone down the line of wait, we figured out team. Wait, now we get into Deebo. Wait, we're going to have to release this guy, do this, do that, do that. Oh, no, man, there's a lot of moving parts here to that. There is that issue, but they could figure it out. But I think it is more complicated because of the publicity around it, to your point, Mike. That's become a thing. And then how much money is Deebo Samuel really want? I mean, you hear that he wants to be the highest paid non-quarterback in football. Well, that's a different story than just 4 years, $100 million A.J. Brown. I'll take this and get out of the way, and here we go. That's easy. So that's the other aspect. These teams are going what exactly do we got to pay this guy to get him here to do this too? And that adds or lessens the value of the whole thing.
There have been at least 2 or 3, maybe more comments and observations made by Deebo Samuel on social media in the 12 days since his trade demand came out that got deleted. And I can't help but wonder whether or not they would have deleted what he said to Jeff Darlington of ESPN if they could. That it was a weak moment, that it was an impulse, that he came out and said, I've asked for a trade because, again, just as it relates to these high-stakes negotiations that happen between teams, if you know the guy wants out, then you're more inclined to lowball. And even if you start low and you're still going to move, your bottom line is going to be lower than it would be if you really do believe the guy otherwise is going to stay. That's a key ingredient in all of this, making other teams think that the guy's going to stay. And, they're trying to sell that with Jimmy Garoppolo and no one buys it. They're trying to sell it with Deebo Samuel, and they hope it happens that he does stay. But the fact that he's on record as saying he wants out, that's hard to walk back from. And, from his perspective, how does he walk back from that in a way that saves face without a new contract? How does he stay in San Francisco this year without a new contract? I think that's very hard to do.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think he's staying in San Francisco without a new contract. When they mend the fences, part of mending this or getting the relationship back together will be, hey, buddy, don't forget, and here's your pile of gold as well. Like, I just think that's going to be part of this. You said it right. I think that stood out to me about the Shanahan press conference on Friday night too. He alluded to it. Yeah, there's obviously some things going on that we don't know, but the biggest thing is the contract. And Shanahan said contract situations like this make, life crazy in the NFL. So that's obviously the number one issue here at hand.
Here's the bottom line. As the 49ers try to fix this, the reality is they created this. I've said we cannot overemphasize this. They did something or didn't do something or failed to do something or failed to say something to keep Deebo Samuel from wanting out.
Agreed.
So they need to recalibrate their instruments that tell them what does and doesn't piss players off. And they need to ask themselves, they need to have a very candid self-evaluation of thyself, as you would say, as to why this happened. It can't just be, well, boy, Deebo, he got up on the wrong side of the bed. It's got to be, there's something we did here. Did we lowball him? Did we not prioritize him? Did we send a message we didn't intend to send?
Yeah.
Did a message we intended to send the wrong message? But before they can fix it, how do I make it better if I don't know how I made it worse? That's the bottom line.
Yeah,
they got to figure out how they made it worse before they can continue to come up with a plan for making it better.
Yeah, no, they got their hands full. Between this and the Jimmy Garoppolo situation, they're delicate. It's one, it's money. Two, it's pretty important personalities on a football team to where the team's got to be careful. The players respect these two guys a whole lot, and if they're too disrespectful in the treatment of either one of them, getting them back or getting them part of the band or everybody being quiet and just, hey, let's go move forward and play football, that can make things very hard there in San Francisco.
Going back to Fox all of a sudden may not look all that bad for John Lynch. I know that's not happening.
Yeah.
But you can't help but wonder whether or not sometimes when he's
right.
in the middle of this, he's like, man, you don't have to worry about this stuff when you're calling games on TV. Let's go ahead and take a break.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.